JB here, JB here. Hope everyone's doing outstanding. Wednesday, February 25th, 9:15 on this fine morning. Talk quick about the markets. Some names I'm looking at go from their S&P futures in the green. S&P up 0.4%. The SPY's over 690. All on the heels of the State of Union address last night. If you're able to stay up late enough to watch it, the longest in recent memory. Nothing surprising there. I was mentioning the last couple of days. I don't think there was going to be anything much that was going to come out and surprise. If there's been some in the past, usually typically the first term of a president where they come out with some stuff on the State of the Union that kind of, whether it be a tremendous, what was it, the $2 trillion infrastructure bill. Uh, there's been things over the years. I always look at the energy space, right? Sometimes it's regards to green energy and solar. So nothing really surprising. I wouldn't say the surprising thing, but they've talked about these accounts for kids, right? For $1,000, Michael Dell's involved, started the fund with that, whatever. But the matching, pretty much like 401k matching that's already exists in some employers, where it's going to be the government's going to match if the employee doesn't match. I don't know what that looks like, but that's kind of like a surprise. There's always times when the market's crashing or market like meltdowns, or even yesterday with Visa, right? I thought if there was an environment for Visa to have a weakness after the open, it would be yesterday. But Visa melted up right after the open, and it's a lot of the time you see moves up in the market, and even on names that maybe there's huge catalyst downgrades, earnings, horrible earnings, and ramps at the open. You're like, why is it ramping up? It's because of OPM, right? Other people's money, right? So that's kind of what the matching on the 401k investment is like. It's going to be other people's money into the market, which markets go higher. But outside of that, so today after the close, the big earnings of the earnings season, which for the last couple of years now, or at least the last year, NVIDIA has been the darling of the earnings season. It used to be Apple. I'm trying to think of what it used to be before that. All eyes going to be on the earnings report. There'll be everybody combing over, looking for cues on the AI space, the CapEx space, demand, their guidance, revenues, Asia, China, how much revenue from China. And so all those different things will be looked at after the close. I don't even think much of that matters. It's going to be a beat and raise. Jensen's going to come on and do his normal hoopla. So, and positive spin on things. It's just how does the market react? And we've already seen with earnings this season, you can have beats and raises and the stock doesn't do well. So I hope that's not the case. Hopefully, even if it's just flatlining, and you look at NVIDIA's chart since the end of, well, pretty much September, it's kind of like stuck, right? So maybe it's the earnings gets it out of its rut, trades into the low 200s. That would be ideal. Heck, I would take flat or down 1 to 2%. Anything outside of that, then you got to worry of some some repercussions, some reverberations across the market. I hope that's not the case. But that's after close today. Then Friday we got PCE data. Outside of that, I mean, pretty interesting to see the market hanging here. SPY's at 690. We saw we we were able to survive the blog post, right? The 2028 blog post. It seems like yesterday, what was there more stuff in regards to DeepSeek. Yeah, so to me, things I'm looking. I keep IGV is not something I look at, the software ETF, but if we can find some footing in software and maybe get back to normalcy in some of these names, that'd be ideal, right? I would love to trade Serve Robotics earnings and have it trade on its own merits when it reports in 2 weeks. All right, that's overall market 677. That's the big line in the sand, right? We break under that and hold that. I will be pretty aggressive on puts. I wouldn't say pretty aggressive because I don't think you don't need to be aggressive on puts to make money, right? If we do get a huge downturn, one or two positions can be up quite a bit, especially if it's a rapid move. On the flip side, you look at 686. That, I mean, I'm not going to pat myself on the back. That annotation's come up. The market's hit that plenty of times over the last couple of weeks and 3 times this week. So maybe we're going to trade around that here today. Maybe we trade over 690 and start to work our ways to 700. That'd be ideal. All right, so that's overall markets. Also, things of note. I always look at the yields going in the right direction, right? So 10 years still heading in the right direction. It was flat yesterday, but still heading down and to the right. And then the amount of stock trading over their 50 and 200-day moving average, still in the high 60s, 60 percentile. So good stuff there. All right, that's overall markets. Now just quick on individual names. Here's IGV, right? And green yesterday. Things yesterday, you would thought maybe ServiceNow was up. I was talking about in the rant yesterday afternoon. A lot of these names that have been beaten up, you're waiting for them to bounce. The Adobes, the Intuits. Intuit had that partnership with Anthropic yesterday. Pretty much, threw in the towel on trying to say, hey, we're going to do it alone. Partner with Anthropic. Stock gapped right after the news. Looked like it was going to have a great day and gave back all the gains. We'll see how that plays out. Hopefully, that's not a sign that they're past the point of no return, right? You should have partnered with an AI model before yesterday, right? Now you're at the point where you're going to continue to get punished. Hope that's not the case. All right, that's overall markets. Just quick on individual names. Of course, no rant the last week or two is going to be a good rant without me talking about, and I don't have the old charts here. And where is my GLW? Of course, I don't have my GLW here. I don't have GLW. Anyway, so GLW, right? So Corning this morning got a price target upgrade. I think it's Citi. Took from 130 to 170. Sitting here 155 in the pre-market. I did my little fuzzy math here, right? And I talk fuzzy math, right? It's not gonna do anything. I put on the watch list. It's like, okay, we know now Corning's running, right? Had it bull case last week, or the week before, got the calls, making money on the call side. Of course, I could have held the 150s. We'll see where they open today, but still making some nice profits, right? I mean, you're up 800% plus on a contract that expires on a Friday. You got to lock some in. But now it's like, where does it go? So I think there's scenarios on the table, right? The first is there's some FOMO crazy move, right? The mini Sandus move over 200 plus in a very short time frame. There's the other scenario, which I think is, probably the more likely, but the more likely doesn't make the money. Maybe it trades 170, 175. And then the scenario where we get some pull at some point, right? So the one that makes the money is the big move. So I got the higher strikes yesterday. The thing is, the premiums are expensive, and they've been the premiums on Corning have been expensive even before the move from the 120s into all-time highs. So, well, not all-time highs, 52-week highs. So it makes it tough for the reward side. I mean, the weeklies this week made plenty of profits. So now that the move is happening, the premiums are more expensive. So to try and chase it, and then you get some premiums on some out of money strikes, the 180s, whatever, and then it just flatlines in a day, the premium is going to come out. So it's frustrating. So I don't want to be losing money on this trade anymore. So with that being said, I'm probably just going to sit on my hands unless I see other opportunities. And then if there is some kind of pull, maybe we get back down into the low 140s, find some footing, then I'll revisit for some FOMO, right? It's funny. The reason I think it hasn't broken out, I had some charts, and I don't know why I don't have the charts here. I do have the charts, right? The comparisons and the comparison between these other names in the space that are similar in nature, right? The Light, gosh, I remember I used to train Light, but that was on iPhones, and Coherent, right? So those names are up since September. Light, Lutetum, however you pronounce, is up 300+%, whereas Corning's only up 90%. I shouldn't say only, it's up substantial, but I think some reason Corning hasn't had that same kind of FOMO is because it's like, it's the old Corning. It's like grandma's rice pudding or grandma's cake recipe, right? It's the same old stuff. I mean, it's good, but it's not exciting, right? It's not the new donut shop on the corner. So with that being said, like, does that create opportunity? I think there's people who, and you still have analysts, right? And you still have, I was looking at the analyst changes. There's some that still have $100 price targets from a couple of weeks ago. And even this week, Morgan Stanley just adjusted our price target to 120. So, maybe they think this is going to be the same old Corning. And then it's also, deja vu all over again. Here we were in the dot-com craze. They went bonkers, up 800% in a matter of a couple months or whatever, and then lost it all pretty much. I don't think that's the case. I think we're in a different scenario. But of course, I think people are probably saying the same thing during the dot-com bubble. So anyway, so I did my little fuzzy math, and just to wrap my head around some possible moves. And so, all right, so that's overall market. So I mean, that's GLW. I don't want to get too much into that. Just quick on other names. First Solar. Thankfully, I passed on adding some strikes. That's one of those names. It always has lumpy earnings. If I had to describe, if there was one word to describe First Solar, I would call it lumpy, because either they have some kind of deal, some order, something that doesn't come through in one quarter, comes through in the next quarter, and next thing you know, they have like this $5 EPS, or they have a $2 EPS, and when it's on the lumpy side to the wrong side, like not as lumpy, it gets destroyed, and their guidance is just horrible. Just you look anywhere you look at the report. So because I'm looking at the solar sector and renewable space, I look at SolarEdge and Enphase, and we'll see if they get some follow through or at least hold their ground here today. I was looking to get SolarEdge yesterday. Enphase had an upgrade this morning. Jefferies took it from, I think, hold to buy, $57 price target. Enphase just needs a kick, right? It's got that high short interest. It's like, I think people still don't believe in the story. And it's like their last back-to-back earnings, kind of like, okay, the turnaround's in place. Insider buy, CEO bought more shares. So anyway, in a nutshell, First Solar, I wish it had a phenomenal earnings report, and then I would be a little more aggressive getting some calls in SolarEdge and Enphase. Don't be surprised. I keep talking about Enphase getting set over $60. It's going to happen. It's just a matter if I'm in it when it does happen. Other names, Roblox, 7% to the upside yesterday. My calls are back to life. If it has follow through here today, gets over $70, might look for some more strikes into next week. And it's like another one of those names, Roblox. I mean, Lit makes a little more sense because of some of the headwinds in regards to what's going on with parental controls and things like that. But like this should be trading 990, $100, 150. It's substantially higher. I'm not going to talk about PayPal because PayPal I wasted too much time on. And so that's that. And then also Reddit flatline yesterday, pretty much flat as a pancake yesterday, despite the market rally. I don't know if this is a bear flag setting up. Like I hate to look at a chart. I always like to look on the on the on the positive side. Is this a bear flag setting up on Reddit? Hopefully not the case, but if it's showing some signs, maybe I'll try nibble dabble some lottos into the end of the week. And that's it, folks. Have a great day. I'll be back on audio later. Rock. Oh, if the market finds weakness, right? Visa, MasterCard, JP Morgan financials, those are probably going to be my go-tos. I mean, look at ASML today. Was it 1500 in the pre-market? Yeah, 1520 this morning. Great story, right? I keep talking about ASML. Every time I look for it as a put hedge, I'm like, it's not like I don't believe in the story. I mean, it's buying back shares, just a monster, right? It's a monopoly in itself. It's probably going to be a $2,000 stock in the next 6 to 12 months. But when we do have a pull, it's going to drop 200, $300 in a matter of a day or two. If that happens, obviously if you're in the puts, which are expensive, but all right, let's have a great day, folks. I'll be back. Rock and roll.